All right, before I start my show where I scream at clouds, meal prepping is a real pain in the you-know-what. And I don't care what anybody tells you, it's an incredible amount of work, and you're liable to make a lot of food that is very repetitive. So your big plan to eat well is pretty much submarined after week one. What if you could take all the convenience of meal prep, except you don't do a bit of it, and no repetition? That's what Factor meals are all about. Delivered to you regularly, ready to go. You warm them up in some of the greatest tastes you'll ever have. You'll be like, how can this possibly be? It's a perfectly cooked, amazing meal without a ton of calories and all the nutrition and energy I need to live a healthy lifestyle. Let's face it, time is a factor. And if you're short on time, you aren't going to eat well. Forget the time factor. Forget paying too much for getting takeout food. How about something absolutely perfect, ready to go? When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. You can even change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. This is so set up for you, you're going to love it. Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting all that time. Listen, head to factormeals.com/Zane50 and use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's right. Code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Factormeals.com/Zane50. Use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Do it. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast. From the Impact Power Sports studio, the Eric Zane Show Podcast has begun. Okay. So, like a mystery solving itself, when at about, the usual start time, 8-ish, I'm all set, ready to go here. And then nothing. I look and it says my internet is out. So I'm like, okay, well, that happens. But rarely is the problem solved as easily as this. Some of you may have seen that I grabbed my phone and went live on Twitch to say, hey, I'm running a little late. The internet's acting funky. And then the dogs started barking. They heard something that caused them to start barking. They heard like something like dropped. After I got done doing that little, hey, I'll be a little late thing, it dawned on me that the sound that they heard was in this room. Something dropped. Something was at not floor level and fell to floor level. And I was like, I think I know what it was. Not only is it the thing that made them bark. Hang on. Not only is it the thing that made them bark, but it's the thing that is keeping me from doing my podcast right now. There's this thing that plugs into the wall. What the... This every day now. I think I'd really need to invest in a new one of these. I know everybody yells at me about, come on. This little thing that plugs into the wall that takes the internet signal, and it actually plugs into the wall. And it must have yesterday, as Patreon was ending, it was over. Darla was doing something annoying, and I had to chase her around the room, and she ran over by the side of this couch where this thing is in the wall. And I didn't think of anything at the time, but she must have really bumped into that fucker. And it was coming out of the wall, so much so that the internet wasn't working. And then while doing that little show telling you that I'm going to be late because of no internet, it actually fell out, landed on the ground, dogs barked at it. That gave me the clue. I went back, oh shit, plugged it right in as soon as I got done with you, and boom, we are podcasting. My God. Some of the top broadcasters and podcasters in the world. Yeah, I'm sure these are the same problems that they deal with. I'm sure Pat McAfee and Joe Rogan are, hey, did you guys solve the problem? Yeah, the dog ran by the thing in the wall and knocked it out. Oh, God. Donut Dan says technology is scary. Fire your engineer. Well, then I guess I have to fire me. okay? Because it's just me. Just me. All right. But welcome. Excited to have you here. Excited to do this show once again for the 1,220-something time. The Eric Zane Show Podcast from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Okay. EZ got called into action yesterday at the world-famous Bosco's Pub. All right. And typically, I just help out one day a week. But there's Doug and then Dougie. Doug is the boss. Dougie is number 2. And Dougie's sick. So they're like, hey, can you come in? I go, well, yeah, I'll come in. Hell yeah. That sounds great. I'll help out. I go in there. But Doug is, he is finicky like a cat. So there's this one particular thing that we make called loaded Bosco fries. They're really good. But you make the fries and then they come out hot, and then you put the salt on them, and then you put them on this little baking pan, and then you put a ton of shredded cheese on it. And you don't really have a lot of wiggle room with that baking pan because the baking pan is not very wide. So a lot of the times you'll put the cheese on there, and it'll fall off while you're putting it on. Same thing with the bacon. No big deal. I mean, a few scraps fall on the floor, and then that's what happens during a night's dinner service. And then what do? At the end of the night, you sweep the floor like I do every damn night. So I don't even notice it because you're in the heat of a dinner service. You got to get this food out. You can't be fucking around worrying about the little scraps of cheese and bacon on the floor. So whatever. I don't even notice it because I'm so in the zone. I get this food out there, goes flying out there, fucking record time, absolute fantastic. And then I hear muttering. And if you hear cement head Doug start muttering, that's, if he's not muttering to you, if he's muttering to you, that means he's muttering about someone else. But if he's just like he does, you're like, uh-oh. And he's bitching because there's cheese on the ground and bacon on the ground. I'm like, whatever. And he's fucking having a temper tantrum. I was like, shut up. Kuiper says a good cook would keep a station clean the whole night. Well, that's true. That's true. And I do. However, I wasn't even aware it happened, honestly. But, oh, my God. What a hyper bastard. Then we're there, and apparently a table of 4 ladies. While they're there, they figure out that they know Doug. Now, these are women that are our age, 50s. And they sent a message, the women, to the server, who then relayed it to Doug and said, hey, your Kenowa Hills classmates want to know if you are going to pay for their meal. And I guess that's a way of breaking the ice to get him to come out and say hello or whatever. But he's like, what? I go, yeah, Doug, go see him. Go see him. He's like, shut up. I go, seriously, go on. Shut up. He goes out there. He's having a conversation with them. He comes back. He goes, they want to see you too. I go, they do? Yeah, they recognize you from the hockey games. I'm like, oh, all right. I go out there and, right away. The hard eyes. You all know I've described this so many times before. How many times does it happen where I just walk up and, women these days are so, they're treated terribly by their husbands. All right. They're not given the right amount of attention. If you're married, and especially if you've been married for a long time, You can't let that slide. So within 1 second, I figure out that these 4 women aren't given any attention by their husbands whatsoever. Because I threw out some of the lightest hitting jokes or one-liners or a couple of easy charms, and they were so well received. They were like, oh my God. Oh, you're so funny. Oh. And I'm like, okay, all right. We're going to have to scrub these chairs. And the one there, the leader of the group, I'm talking with her, and she goes, well, we saw you, and of course, everybody knows you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And Rebecca says, I bet they love your hair, too. Amy says, was your hair on point for these ladies? Well, of course. If I'm going to walk out out of the kitchen onto the floor, oh, my God, you better believe it, you know? So I'm there flirting with these women. I mean, it's a flirt fest. And I am holding my own. And key point is, the leader of the group was the cutest. But you have to pay attention to the other 3, even if not as cute as the one. Because if you just focus on cutie patootie, the cutie pie, she's going to feel uncomfortable because EZ is not paying attention to them, and they're probably going to get butt hurt. So you got to give them a taste, you know. So a little eye contact while talking, and super expressions by EZ, and laughy, good time. And she goes, I saw you, and I was like, oh my God, it's Eric Zane, except you're not wearing, she said this, you're not wearing your little suit. And in front of me right now, you're not all, crazy. Because of the hockey games, I'm a nut. Cole writes, her fat friends need some attention too. It's a horrible thing to say. My God, what are you doing? They were lovely, all 4 of them. Went back, talked to Doug. I go, hey, did you ever make out with any of those chicks? And no. But before I left, I said to him, I go, so now what was Doug like in height? And I didn't even finish it. And she goes, he was naughty. He was so naughty, Eric Zane. And he was. I mean, first of all, Doug told me himself that because when he opened the restaurant, he had a lawyer helping him out with things. And he's you know, the lawyer says, okay, well, I'm going to go get your liquor license. They look at your background. So what is your background like? And Doug hands him like a ream of paper and says, here, these are my felony convictions. And he's like, what the fuck are you putting me into? You can't possibly expect me to get you a liquor license with all this shit against you. Doug's been stabbed more than once. Doug's been shot. All right. The cops, Doug at one point beat the shit out of a cop. His stories are absolutely legendary about his run-ins with police. It's Doug, real wild side. And if you see him, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. So yes, Doug is. I walked by there, I go, hey man, I asked him what you were like growing up, and they told me to tell you that they said you were naughty. Amy says, did Doug grow up in the city of Warren? Tension in the city of Warren.
Tension in the city of Warren. This is Easy Rap on 89.1 WPHS.
We're going to tear it up.
We're going to tear it up. The favorite songs
from your favorite artists.
We've got 2 hours.
8 till 10 p.m.
I'm I'm going to want to hear those phone calls. 751 FM 89 is the number. Let's hear your suggestions. Let's start it off right away with Run DMC, Together Forever.
Hey, yo,
1,
man,
2,
can you see
1,
the mic
2.
stand?
1, 2, 1, 2,
And I say, so ridiculous. Corey says black as fuck completely. Oh yeah, that is a black dude right there. Night ends, all good. Another successful, fun time there. And I might be back. The plan was to do a Big Fraud Thursday today. I even mentioned it. I said to Ben Glaze, Big Fraud Thursday, and he was, okay, yeah. And then I was talking with Doug, and Doug E is ill. I tell you what, I'm going to switch around my schedule, and I'm ready. If Dougie's still sick, you call me, and I'll charge my charms, and I will come back and help you on Thursday if you need me. He's well, you know. So I said to Ben Glaze, I go, buddy, I'm thinking about Saturday, a Big Fraud Saturday. And he said, yeah, it'll give me more time to get these clips ready for Big Fraud. Yeah. Who are these Zanes? Yeah. So Saturday would work better. Like, all right, Saturday it is. Let's do a Big Fraud Saturday. We'll start probably around the same time, 12:15, with Who Are These Zanes? Wrap it up with the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Maybe Ashley will tell more tales about having sex with Joe. How about that? Ashley definitely willing to share. I guess when I was doing the Ben Glaze impression, Darla was interested. Ben Glaze. Blinky, blinky. Love it. Tyler writes, quote from Ben. Saturday is great. I'm too busy reporting on the weather for X's and bros. Chris D sent me a notice. It was another spectacular moment for Ben yesterday on X's and Bros. We will review that when we do the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Speaking of Ben asked me to work for him, as I told you, on that show, X's and Bros, coming up sometime in March. He says, I want to take a quick trip to Las Vegas with Brett, Lurch. It's going to be a Friday to Monday trip. Can you cover for me? Easy. And I'm like, come on, dude. Ask somebody else. I got shit going on. And then he says, well, it's going to be hard to train somebody. I'm like, how hard can it be to train somebody? You just have to turn up a thing and press a button. And then he says, well, I might just have to come back from my trip a day early. I was like, yeah, fly out to Vegas on late Friday, get back Sunday. What the fuck? I go, all right, don't do that. If you can't find anybody, I'll do it. Pain in the ass. You're a pain in my ass is what you are. Holy shit. So that would be like, that looks like it's probably going to happen. So I will be on the air on that show at 6 a.m. I don't expect you to be there when it signs on because that's too damn early. But I will get the audio of Anthony saying, Ben Glaze here. Gentlemen, how are you? I mean, what do I do then? Do I do like a normal person and have a conversation? Or do I do like Ben and go, it's 32 degrees out, barometric pressure, 26 inches and rising, winds out of the south-southeast, south-southwest at 15 knots, waves 3 feet on Lake Michigan. Come on. Tyler says if you cover him, you will blow Anthony's mind with your sports knowledge when he goes to you for 30 seconds, then randomly stop talking to you. Stevie, actually, Linda says you should imitate Ben. Then the idea is being floated that I could actually get Ben clips and play them on the show. So Anthony would be like, hey, Ben, did you have a good day?
Oh, yeah.
I bet you're excited for the big game.
That's right.
So what's the weather? Are you happy with it, Ben?
Oh, yeah.
I heard it's a little cool in your neck of the woods.
That's right.
Do you want to discuss the weather?
Oh, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
What are you waiting for?
That's right.
I want to hear your morning weather report.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Had starting to melt where the headlights go. Starting to melt where the headlights go.
Here's Ben breaking down fog with Anthony.
C. Bellino, gentlemen, good morning to both of you. How
morning.
are we on this Wednesday?
Doing all right. Had a okay trip in. It's nothing but fog. Down here.
Same here from last night.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, can you tell me how fog is made, Anthony?
Same here. It's that those high temperatures, man, the precipitation, everything else. Drastic change. What was the temp outside?
32. So,
Why is that important? I'm guessing, here we are in Michigan. I would guess the difference in temperature is maybe a degree or two throughout the entire state. Tyler says it's like his own dialect of English that requires lengthy pauses and stutters called Benglish. Do you speak Benglish? Holy shit.
everything's starting to melt. On the side roads, I can only see like 10 feet in front of me, like just out past where the headlights go.
Oh.
Wow. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Last night on my commute home, it was getting intense.
Okay.
The fog was, but it was still 35, 38
These two. Holy shit.
degrees, whatever it was. So it was nice, man. It felt damn near tropical.
Right.
That much is for certain. So I was happy with it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
finally, like, can we be done with whatever that was in January, please? I'd be
Right.
a big fan of that.
You got to understand. This show has potential to be heard by hundreds of thousands of people. Make fun of it all you want. It's on 20 radio stations throughout the whole state.
I knew that, in December we didn't have much of a winter and people were starting to question. In January, it was like, you didn't think you were going to get cold temperatures? Here's minus 18, real feel, whatever that means.
And now this is where he does a deep dive. It sounds like a bit. It sounds like a Seinfeld bit, but it's not. Hold on a minute. Darla, no. Knock it off. Hey! Hold on. Knock it off. Sounds like a Seinfeld bit.
So that's the one thing I'll always question. How can something be zero if it's 0 degrees outside? The weather people say it's 0 degrees, but it feels like minus 18. Wouldn't it then be minus 18?
Yeah.
No, it's simple. Wind speed reduces the surface temperature. That's the simplest thing on the planet.
That makes more sense.
Because what's the reality? Or it's just 0.
Right.
And it feels like 0. Like that's what 0 degrees
He's breaking down the wind chill factor.
feels like. This is what
exactly.
the Arctic feels like.
And I think he's doing a bit, but it's not funny. There's no joke.
Because if you're going to tell me it's 0 degrees, and then you're going to tell me, but it feels like, what are you just making stuff up over there? What do you mean it feels? How do you know what it feels like?
Courtesy laugh.
Some people wear shorts outside in the winter. I don't know how they feel.
What's the deal with short pants?
I don't know what they can feel.
What's the deal with shorts?
They might not be able to feel anything.
I said short pants. I used to always say short pants.
I, for one, am not one of those people that wear shorts outside the window. I don't.
If you can plot this out, this started with Ben talking about the fog, Anthony giving us how fog is made, and then it dips into wind chill, and now it's people who wear shorts.
I don't like that. I don't like
cold.
to be cold. I'm not a fan at all. But hey, neither here nor there. Just kind of is what it is. Maybe.
So he says one platitude or cliche. Yeah, when people wear shorts, that's neither here nor there, and it is what it is. Yeah, shorts. What do you think about shorts? Oh, they're neither here nor there. Yeah, but it is what it is. You'd have to agree with that. Darla!
One day we'll get some clarity on what happens next for the weather people, and I can solve that problem for all of us too. Either it is or it isn't, but there's no middle here.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there, and it is what it is.
There's no terminology for what.
At this point, Ben keyed the mic off, and Ben's like, "Oh, this is where I just let him go. This is like the equivalent in AC/DC." When they're on stage and Angus gets that solo and everybody's losing their mind. Anthony's just killing it now.
What it feels like. What it feels like today? It feels like, we will.
It feels like death warmed over based on what my ears feel like right now.
We'll step outside of the football conversation.
Oh. God damn. So difficult. So hard. Well, anyway. That may be what I will be doing. Holy cow. That was more fun breaking it down the second time because we broke that down on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I didn't think I'd come up with new jokes, but it worked out. Amanda says this is definitely a bros conversation. Yeah. It could be an ex's conversation or a bros conversation. I didn't know bros sit around and discuss the wind chill. Oh, there's food on my lip. Wind chill factor. That was cream of wheat. Wind chill factor and other things. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening here? Incoming phone call. Hello, sir. Hello?
Big Fraud Zane, How are you doing on this wonderful Thursday morning?
Mr. President, I'm so surprised to hear from you. Thank you so much for calling. What's happening?
Well, I'm calling all of my contacts in the media. I'm trying to wage a war against the crooked Taylor Swift. I think it's terrible what they've done to America's football game. Terrible.
You're not one of these people that are like... you think that she's somehow ruining the game. That's a little silly.
She's totally ruining the game, and she's probably using this as a political... Listen, they're going to do this. They're going to take this as a political opportunity to endorse crooked Joe Biden and his band of thugs. They're going to do this, and the Swifties, you got to look out for the Swifties, but the good news is our MAGA supporters are probably bigger numbers than the Swifties. It's so terrible that people did not name me the person of the year. Instead, they named her. It's terrible, actually.
Well, okay, so now hold on a second. There's a couple of things we're working on here. Are you saying that because they've talked about how she and who she endorses, but of course she's going to endorse Joe Biden. You didn't really think she was going to endorse you, did you?
Well, of course. I thought maybe she would finally maybe wake up and, maybe see the light. I don't know. Because it's so crooked what she did back in 2020 when she endorsed him, and we certainly don't want that again. That would be very bad if she endorsed such a crooked old man like that. I mean, he's completely incompetent. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know if he's even able to take a dump.
No, he's not. He's not at all. He's not at all. But I don't think it's crooked to just say that you're going to vote for someone. Is it?
Oh, it's terrible because these Swifties, they do what they listen. They're like mesmerized or something. They do what she says, and we can't. She should not be influencing political things with her statements and such forth. So we have to stop her. We're going to wage probably a holy war against Taylor Swift. It's the only way. We gotta band together, all patriots.
Okay.
And we have to destroy the Swifties. I mean, we've already got tens of thousands on their way to Texas right now, Big Fraud. And they're going to help the great Governor Abbott, and we're going to secure the border. That's step one, and then we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be great.
Okay, so you said a lot there. Your supporters are going to A, quote, destroy her, B, holy war, and C, secure the border. That's a lot, sir.
We totally have to secure the border. You know, it's terrible. It's terrible what Joe's done to the border. I left with the most secure border. We were building the greatest wall, and he completely defunded it, Big Fraud. Completely defunded it. It was terrible. And now we've got these Mexican thugs and so forth, like Joe Martinez. I know you're very fond of him, but I don't know if he's legal. I don't know if he's legal.
He's born.
They came into this country.
No, he's an American citizen who's born here. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but that's a horrible thing to say.
He's certainly not America's sweetheart, and neither is Taylor Swift. We got to be honest about that. That's why we have to secure the border, Big Fraud.
Why wouldn't it be easier just to not secure the border and let these people come into the U.S.? What's wrong with that?
Well, I guess if you're going to shoot them on sight, that would be the only alternative, because these people are terrible. They're raping people.
No, they're not. Come on now. Maybe there might be a couple of rapes. But there's like
Big Fraud, if you knew the numbers of these drugs that are entering our country, and they're taking innocent young people are taking these terrible drugs, and they're being sex trafficked, Big Fraud.
I don't know.
You wouldn't believe it.
All right. Well, you know, I'll have to follow up on that. Look for the facts as to how many are being trafficked and the whole drug thing. I don't know. Every time
there's a caravan right now, Big Fraud, of our great patriots heading to the great state of Texas. They are going to help. I don't know if you knew this. Governor Abbott, he has installed razor wire on the border, and Joe Biden's thugs have come through and cut it.
Yes, I did see that.
Cut it entirely.
I did see that. Well,
and our great patriots are on their way in a caravan right now, and they're going to fix the problem. I tell you that right now. They're calling themselves the Army of God.
Okay, well, I'll look that up and follow up on that story, because I definitely want to hear from and hear about the Army of God. You know,
it's tremendous what they're doing.
So
great patriots are heading to the state of Texas.
So you're right,
and I totally commend them.
This is a holy war. Then you have created, because we all know how religious you are. And I mean, you are.
I'm probably the evangelicals. They love me. They know how much I love the great Bible, which is probably the best. I mean, let's be honest, the best book ever written.
Well, yeah, and you've probably read it cover to cover at least twice a year, every year, right? The Bible.
Oh yeah, and the evangelicals, they know it. They know how much I know the Bible. I know the Bible probably more than most people.
Right. Is there any truth to the rumor that you're putting some rough drafts to actually add some books to the Bible? Like you would have, you know how you might have Ecclesiastes, a gospel according to Luke, Mark, John, the whole deal, Matthew. It would be the Bible, the gospel according to Trump. Is there some truth to that?
Well, I can't substantiate that, but I certainly shouldn't. I should say that sounds like a fantastic idea. I think the Bible is always open to interpretation, and certainly things could be added. I mean, it's a very historic text, and I think it needs to be updated to modern times. I've said that several times. I think we could update that certainly. Okay, so basically just take things out, omit it, and just like change words around to make it say something that maybe goes with what you're thinking. Exactly, Big Fraud. You always understand it. You know, the same thing that we've done to the Constitution, things that don't make sense. Change like it. Term limits. Take that out of there. Take that out of there. No term limits whatsoever, so that a person can be voted in and then they can stay there for 50 or 60 years. Right. There should never be another election. Okay. There should never be another election. I don't know why we would have another election. Right. If America had their favorite president, they shouldn't need to elect. They shouldn't need to elect. And then you could just put giant posters up of that president while he's there for an entire lifetime. And then no one really gets a choice anymore. I mean, why bother having an election? It's a real pain in the ass. So whoever would be in office would be doing everyone a favor. You got it, big fraud. It's like you've suddenly woken up and seen the light. I don't even have to argue.
Oh, no,
facts with you. You're bringing them to me.
I'm not saying that I agree with them. I'm just saying that that's what you're suggesting.
Well, I mean, if you're saying it, you totally agree to it. I mean, we could take the audio clips and use them against you.
Yeah.
The thing is, these terrible crimes they're accusing me of, they won't even let me properly defend myself in these courtrooms. It's terrible. I wish you could be part of some of this big fraud because you would love it. I mean, it's so fraudulent.
I saw that E. Jean Carroll, that big lawsuit against you, and it seems like every time it's crazy because you lost $5 million in the actual sexual assault trial, but you lost $83 million because you said she's a liar.
She's a total liar. They wouldn't even let her bring the semen-soaked dress. We couldn't even bring that into the court.
The semen-soaked
to examine it. They wouldn't even let. I had eyewitnesses that were going to come in and they were going to totally take a look at this whole thing. And the crooked judge said, no, we're not going to have any of these witnesses. It's terrible. I should be able to have a just trial, and it's so unjust.
I had not heard of the quote unquote semen-soaked dress. That's
what she alleges, and there was no semen, I can assure you.
Okay.
I think I would know. I would know a thing or two about that, and there was no semen.
There was no semen on the dress. That would have meant, because this was years ago, so that would have meant she kept the dress soaked in semen and then easily presented the semen dress, And
that's what their whole thing is. And I mean, it's obvious. I mean, so many years have passed. Even if let's just say it was soaked with semen, and I'm not saying that it was, would that even be viable now?
Well,
I don't know if you could do anything with that.
And just the terminology, soaked with semen. Like if I'm washing the car and I put a sponge in a bucket, that sponge is soaked and I can wring it out. But I don't think...
Right, totally soaked.
I mean, I don't know. Does your semen... is there that much semen that you produce that... like if you were to... ejaculate on a sponge, would I be able to soak the sponge out and the semen would be dripping off? Do you produce that much semen, sir?
Well, I mean, it's possible. You know what I love about you, Big Fraud? This reminds me of some of the best times I had on radio with Howard Stern. I used to be one of his best guests.
Yeah.
And we would talk about things like this all the time. But, you can't talk about that these days.
No.
They don't want the locker room talk. They don't want the locker room talk.
Well,
you can't talk about that.
I'm just amazed by your ability to produce semen. You must be a legend in producing semen, because if you soak something with your semen, that's a lot.
Well, I've soaked many things with semen. I got to tell you that. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Melania's had wonderful children. Look at my wonderful children with her. I tell you, they're totally mine. They're totally my children.
Right.
The thing is, Big Fraud, we've got to remember the point of this whole thing, and that is the crooked Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And this terrible NFL football game that's coming up on the 11th. I want our great Patriots to destroy Taylor Swift and the army of Swifties.
Okay.
I think we've got to take back America.
Why don't you send Kid Rock or something? He seems to be like your big hitter in entertainment. And you could have,
between him and Ted Nugent, I think, we've obviously got big influences on our side. I mean, Ted Nugent is probably, he's our biggest influencer. I'm going to be so honest about that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this Taylor Swift problem. I think it's terrible what she's done to our country, showing up to these football games, taking precious airtime. Terrible.
So basically, her just going to the game to support her boyfriend, that is a problem.
I mean, if it's a boyfriend, do we know that? I mean, let's be honest. We don't know if this whole thing was paid for by Joe Biden.
Oh, for
we don't know.
Mr. President, I've had enough. It's been a fantastic
I've had
conversation.
Enough of you too, but thank you so much for taking my phone call, Big Fraud. I'm so glad you're such a supporter of all this.
No, I'm not. I'm not. It's all nonsense. My God, what the fuck? Bob writes, why would anyone want to listen? He's talking about Taylor Swift. Refers to her as a rat-faced trailer park skank. Why would anyone want to listen to who that rat-faced trailer park skank endorsed? She's made a music career on her poor choices of men. That's nonsense. I mean, I don't like her music. I think it's pretty simple, but come on now. First of all, she's very pretty. She's not rat-faced in any way. I don't think she's ever lived in a trailer park. That's a horrible comment to make right there. And I don't know why you hate on her. Why in the world would you hate on Taylor Swift? There's nothing to hate. Taylor Swift is guilty of being successful. She's done nothing wrong to anyone. You know? I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. Maureen, she writes, the funny thing is Taylor Swift hasn't made any political statements. They're only speculating what she could do with her influence on the Swifties. And that's true. And I don't know. I mean, she doesn't need to say who she supports. It's not like an 18-and-a-half-year-old girl on election day is going, I love Taylor Swift. I wonder who I should vote for. Come on now. All right. Thank you to the former president for weighing in, though. That was just fantastic. Corey is sending these silly pictures. Could you not do that? You realize that takes up valuable space? I'm trying to do my job. Let's not put any more entire screen size pictures of anyone. All right? I would prefer it if I could just interact with the audience on the chat instead of seeing silly pictures that you know how to make on the chat because you're a fucking dork. Okay? In fact, where are my cards? I'm going to have to give you a yellow on that deal. Knock it off. You're getting a yellow. One more of those, you're getting a red, and you'll be eating 600. Clean it up, you dumb fuck. I have an update for you. There's this dude that reached out to me not long ago, January 23rd. I read this to you before. I couldn't tell if it was a joke or what. I still don't know. Hello, Eric. May I first start off as saying congratulations for making it this long and finding enough sponsors to pay you. Well done. I know that you use this shit, I'm guessing he's referring to his email, for content because your normal podcast length is full of ads and bullshit. Okay, that's one way to describe it. Actually, I would say that that's accurate. There are ads and plenty of bullshit. Then he adds, this podcast is shit. But however, it's slightly better than Stu McAllister's. That tells me Stu wrote this. So in that regard, fuck you both. Neither of you have anything legit to say ever. Eric, you don't know sports. And Stu, fuck yeah, I love you. Fuck off. Signs it, fuck off. So that has to be Stu, right? I followed up with, look, you cannot start your diatribe with hello and then finish with fuck off. So I'm playing along. This person responds yesterday. Yes, I can start it that way, you idiot. I can start it any way I want when I talk to a dummy like you. The way you talk in your podcast made me believe you're a real idiot, and it's YOUR. So this person's either Stu or someone looking for a fight. I wrote, you listen? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Nothing makes people's blood boil more then you give them the old judo maneuver. Oh, yeah? Thank you. I appreciate you being here. I hate that. Then I wrote, the way I talk, what the hell are you talking about? I'm trying to get this person talking more. See if I can bring Stu in here. Stu and I both nursing our wounds from the NFL season. I still think Buffalo fans have it worse than Lion fans. Usually picks it up and goes, Eric Zane. Just like Kyle does. I'll get Kyle on here in a second. Oh, come on, Stu. What could you possibly be doing? Remember that one time, one year when Stu had like 10 different jobs? It was delivering worms.
The phone of Stu McKell.
All right. For you folks that are watching on Facebook, X, and YouTube, I must say goodbye to you. We have more show left. If you want the rest of it, download the Twitch app and then search Eric Zane Live. Give yourself a little username. You can participate in the chat. It's great. Whole community there for you. Or on your laptop or desktop, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Audio podcast available wherever you download shows. Just search my name. I prefer Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to me on there. Thank you. And then, of course, there is the Patreon, where it'll be a Big Fraud Saturday with the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast happening. And who are these Zanes? I put hours and hours of content up on my Patreon, and I want you to try it for free at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Also, send me an email like that guy did. Eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Amy says, delivering worms? Yeah, he was delivering worms. Like for people who like to fish. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. The Open and live stream brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. This is the sponsor portion of the program. I can't do this show free. I wouldn't waste my time doing it for free. I got to get paid. So I do the free podcast and the Patreon every day. Free one is supported by the sponsors. If I don't have sponsors, I'm not doing the free one. So as long as people keep like, hey, can we advertise? I'm like, I guess so. Sure. Then I'll keep doing it. And there doesn't appear to be an end in sight. I've got a new sponsor starting today. God, I guess I got to get that ready. I'll get to that in a second. All right. Where was I? Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Get your vehicle repaired in Grand Rapids, Michigan. No matter where you are in the area, get the car to Irvine's. For any type of maintenance to keep the car running sound, or if you have a kind of a meltdown, you need something taken care of, an emergency, they can help you. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup. And they have loaner cars for you so that you don't have to worry about getting to and from work without your car. Schedule today. They work on all makes and models. Combustion vehicles, gas, diesel, hybrid, EV. There's an article that I may get to today that General Motors has already decommitted on their all-in electric vehicle strategy. Remember how everyone's like, oh, my God, that's it. General Motors, we're going all EV. Well, they already gave up. Look at from this publication called The Drive. GM reverses all-in EV strategy to bring back plug-in hybrids. Now, how long have I been talking about hybrids are the way to go? Well, as long as I've had one, which is a decade. So they're saying enough of that. Hang on, here's Stu. Stu McAllister.
Eric Zane, what's happening?
How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. You?
Not bad. I was. I talked to that guy that you ran into.
Oh, did you? That's funny.
That was Brian. He heard your voice and he knew it was you.
The Dippin' Dot van and the hat and everything wasn't a giveaway, though, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So that was cool. I talked to him, and then I want to know, who do you think has it worse, Bills fans or Lions fans?
Right now, Lions fans.
I disagree.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I disagree. Though that was a terrible loss because they had it won, and then they said, "Fuck you, we're gonna lose."
Right. Yeah.
That was terrible. But
Sure.
I think it's worse for Bills fans. I really do. I mean,
My rationale is we're used to it.
I mean,
we've been good for a while, and then we're like, we lose in a horrible fashion. You guys, you're brand new to being good, and you're going to get kicked in the face a couple more times.
Okay,
it's
good.
Going to be hard to adjust.
all right, good. I'm looking forward to that then. Because
Good times,
if
man.
you think
Good.
about it, I mean, just off the top of my head, first of all, the Bills losing 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, I know.
And then you have like in and just random order here, Kansas City coming back to beat the Bills. Was that last year or the year before?
It was like 3 years ago, I think.
And then you
13
got
seconds.
the most recent wide right. You've got the game against Houston when you were up 100-0 at the half and blew it. You got the Music City Miracle where the Titans cheated and everybody said it was legal.
Yeah. Conspiracies. Are you trying to make me suicidal today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, that's why I think the Bills got it worse. It's so bad. The fans are numb to it. The fans actually get hard-ons when the team loses.
And that's why we jump through tables, man. That's how we can feel alive.
Cole writes, don't forget O.J. Simpson. Your running back killed his wife and her buddy.
Well, she deserved it.
Oh, Jesus, Stu. My God.
Yeah, I know. It's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah.
I do not wish that on Lions fans at all. I hope you guys win the Super Bowl next year. And there you go.
Stu, I received an email from
boy.
someone, and you were mentioned in it.
Oh, God.
This person writes, Eric, I'd like to start off by congratulating you for making it this long and finding enough sponsors to pay you. Well done. I know that you use this shit, he's referring to his email, for content because, and he's right, because your normal podcast length is full of ads and bullshit. He's also right. That is 2 things he is correct about. Then he writes, this podcast is shit. He continues being correct. But then he says, however, it's slightly better than Stu McAllister's.
What? How is it better than mine?
I
don't
know.
have any ads.
That's ridiculous. And then he says, so in that regard, fuck you both.
Who is this person? I need to meet him and shake his hand.
I don't know. I thought it was you.
I'll be the first to tell you my podcast shit.
Okay, me too. Then he says, neither of you have anything legit to say ever. And then he said, then get this. This is where I think this guy might be under the influence. Excuse me. He writes, Eric, you don't know sports. And Stu, fuck ya. I love you. And then he writes, fuck off.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
You know what? To me, we've made it when we can sit here and fuck around and some weirdo with a fake email account sends hate mail to us. That's fantastic. That's the sign that we're turning the corner, Stu.
Yes. I don't know, man. But when you have haters, is that it? You know,
Right.
you made it when you got haters. All right. Fair enough.
That's what I've heard. I've heard people say that.
Why does this guy listen? I don't understand the hate listen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, that's a good thing. If you can entertain someone or keep them maybe not entertained, but at least pull something out of them, whether it's rage or fury or suicidal tendencies, that's all a win. Like if someone reaches out to me and says, man, you made me want to kill myself, I'm like, well, that's good. I'm doing my job.
I made some sort of connection. Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's it. I saw your big thing that you watched a stupid wrestling event and then you type you love the Royal Rumble or whatever the fuck. What the hell is wrong with you? And support local wrestling. I get it. You're such a dipshit.
Yeah, I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah. All right. Well, go get them today.
Thanks, man. I'm in Detroit.
Oh, no. Burn it down.
We're going to get murdered.
Burn it down.
All right, I'll do my best, man.
All right. See you. Get out of here.
All right, brother.
Yep. Stu. Let me bring Kyle in here. All right. And then I'll owe you about 1 million sponsors. I swear to God I will. But he's waiting. That guy, he's actually, I think he's been on vacation or some shit. Kyle? Let's bring him in here right now.
Eric Zane.
Kyle, less than a week ago at halftime, you were as happy as could be, no doubt.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Actually, abso-fucking-lutely, dude.
You were convinced, as were a lot of people, that we had it.
Dude, I was existing in this state of disbelief for quite a while there, and then I was brought harshly back down to earth. It was weird.
It was quite pleasant when they were winning. We were thinking, "Oh my God, we are going to the Super Bowl." And then,
dude, let me set this scene for you really quick, Eric Zane. And here's how it's a hilarious turn of events. So I'm down here in Florida, like I mentioned, on vacation, and we are at Blue's grandma's place, which is like an old people community, but not like a retirement home. It's just like where they live, like a condo complex.
Yep, they're everywhere.
So we're in the clubhouse. We were trying to watch the game. The game was coming through in Spanish, right? Like the commercials were all English, but the game was coming through in Spanish. And we're all sitting there. There's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of us, like me and Blue and J-Mo and then a bunch of old people. And we're all just staring at the TV trying to figure out what the fuck's going on because it was just coming out in Spanish. And I'm like, well, to be honest with you, I guess we don't really need it in English. I mean, we know what's happening, you know, and then like so you don't really need it. But then at halftime, we went back to the house to watch it English, and then shit went down. So we should have just stayed there and listened to the Spanish dudes, dude.
Yeah, that was cruel. That was wildly cruel because not only did they lose, but I made the point that it seemed like whether they lost by 3 points or 100, it didn't matter. It didn't. It was like that they got slaughtered because of how badly they performed in the second half and how San Francisco beat the shit out of them.
I know. We just gotta hope. We just gotta hope that Aaron Glenn gets another job. I think.
Yeah, he stinks. He stinks, and there's some real problems. It's a miracle they got this far. You know, if Dan Campbell were not the coach, they would have probably gone 0-16 because they fucking suck. Their defense sucks so much dick. It's incredible. And all these Lions fans are acting like that team was that good. That fucking team sucked. It's a miracle they got that far.
It was a season, baby. It was fun. It was good. Next year, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but it was a good time still.
It was fun. There's no question. It was fun to watch. I'm glad that they got that far. But they need some serious work. That guy Cam Sutton cannot tackle. He sucks.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the only thing in his defense is on the other side, we decided that Kendall Vildor was the right choice to put on the other side. Now, fuck Kendall Vildor, dude.
Yeah, the ball hit him in the fucking face, goes flying, idiot catches it. God damn it.
Dude, even all the bad shit that happened in the second half, if we could have just had that one if that could have just been an interception, I think that's all we would have needed, even if all the other bad shit still happened. But man, that was rough.
So it dawned on me not long ago that last night I had a dream about you and Emilio driving. I'm not kidding you. We were having like a cul-de-sac party with all my neighbors. It was really real. And just having like a barbecue. And you had procured one of those trucks that you see that has a billboard on the back of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you're promoting dumpster divers. And so you and Emilio are driving around the community with dumpster diver billboards, moving billboards. And I'm like, hey, fucker, come get a hot dog. And you're like, no, fuck you. I got to go promote myself. And I realized that yesterday when I was going home from the vet yesterday, that you had put up one of those little signs in front of the alongside of the road on 44th Street.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that fucking road or that sign by the road, and that's why I had that goddamn dream.
Heck yeah! Look, hey, our signs are traversing sentient worlds. We're going into dream world. That's all you can ask for.
I mean, which is a million times better than what you did when you were what do you call it? Marketing in the Thrifty Nickel or whatever the hell it was.
I fucking know. Yeah, you asked me about that and not too long ago. I think I forgot to respond, but yeah, we're just about done with that, dude. I think April is the last month, dude.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. And then Diana says to me, she goes, have Kyle Tiller bring a dumpster over and tell him I'm not paying for it. He's been on your show for the last 2 years for free.
That's kind of fucking true, dude. It's kind of fucking, yeah, maybe we're going to have to work something out, to be honest with you.
This is what we do. You sign up for marketing and I'll pay for the dumpster. As long as you sign up for the marketing, I'll pay for the dumpster. If you don't sign up for the marketing, you're going to give me the dumpster or I'm going to take the goddamn dumpster.
Hell yeah, that would be funny. Just like all of a sudden we're like, hey, where the fuck is one of our dumpsters? I think somebody stole it, dude.
So this Florida trip, you've been like there like a week and a half, haven't you?
Dude, okay, let's dive into this fucking story, Eric Zane, because this is just full of twists and turns, and it's content driven, baby. So get this, right? We were supposed to leave last Wednesday. Wait, what day is it right now? Thursday. So yeah, last Wednesday we were supposed to leave. And so we get to the airport and we're flying Frontier, right? Which is already a big fucking, I was like, come on, we got to fly Frontier. So we get there, blah, blah, blah. J-Mo, he's doing this thing in the airport. He's got like 1,000 fans, he's fucking running around, like telling jokes to all these random people. Everything's going good.
Yeah.
We got on the plane. And we're on the runway, like we're about to leave, and also like the captains come on. They're like, "Yeah, something's fucking up with this wheel. Okay, like the wheel's fucked up, so we're gonna go back to the gate and we're gonna fix the wheel." And like I'm like, okay, I guess that's reasonable. You know what I mean? Like I guess we want the wheel to work a little bit. So we're like, okay, we go back, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll fix it up. We'll be on our way." Anyways, then like an hour passes. They're like the ladies, we don't know what the fuck's going on with the wheel. And then 5 hours pass, right? And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna cancel this fucking flight." Okay.
Oh no!
I know, and I'm like, so at that point, like I'm mad only because like it's been 5 hours and like there was no updates. So like then I'm like, let's just like I wasn't saying this out loud. I wasn't like one of those unruly people, but I'm like, let's just fucking go. I'm like, if the wheel is broken, we all fucking die when we get there. Whatever, at least we went, And like I'm like mad. So anyways, then we had to leave Friday. And so we come back Friday, and then they're like, yeah, we refunded you, because we picked our seats. And they're like, yeah, we refunded all that. So you're all going to sit in fucking different spots, but now we're going to charge you extra for your bag. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, dude? And so anyways, it was this huge thing. We got down here, and then I had to call like the customer service to like figure out like when the hell I could come back. You know what I mean? I'm like, you guys canceled the flight out there, and I know your flights are connected to your returns. They're like, yeah, you fucking can't come back Wednesday like you thought you were going to. You're going to have to fucking come back Friday. So I'm coming back tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
It was wild, though, because here's what I learned about Frontier, if anybody's wondering. I think they can say, like, their flights are cheap because they literally don't have call centers. They just, like, outsource the call center. So I'm talking to some Indian guy named Patrick Lewis, and I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure, dude. Your name's Patrick Lewis, sure. And, I mean, he's trying to give me the fucking runaround, like, left and right. And anyway, it was just a huge fucking disaster. But I'm coming back tomorrow. It's been all right.
God. I hear enough of these that I'm like, is it really worth it? It's almost like fucking drive. It's almost like I'll just fucking drive. At least all I have to do is keep the thing between the lines, stop to pee, and that's it. And we can get there. And it's
I know, and to be honest with you, I'm a big fan of driving. Like I would have loved to drive. It's just how we did it when I was a kid. So I'm like, yeah, let's drive, baby. But the women control the world. She's like, we're flying. I'm like, all right, we'll fucking fly, I guess.
My God. Some comments. Corey writes, Frontier is even cheaper than Spirit. Just fly Delta. Chris says exactly. I don't know. I mean, I think that one way or another, there's so much that can go wrong when it comes to a flight that can make you late, that it doesn't seem like the norm that everything will work perfectly, or at least it can feel that way.
Yeah, because I was telling Blue, I was like listen, because she was like, why you getting all upset? And I'm like, listen, like I've been on like a million flights where it was delayed because of weather, like whatever, like that type of stuff, totally outside of your control. But like, check the fucking wheels, like check the fucking wheels before you fly. Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do? A little pre-trip inspection, check that fucking wheel, dude. So it was the first flight where it wasn't like out of control, like it wasn't like an act of God or whatever. It was just like the fucking wheel. So I was like, what the fuck's going on here, dude?
Have you been following the story about how the Alaska Airlines and all those other Boeing jets, like a fucking door plug will come flying off?
I have not heard about this. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, probably it's something that you need to look up, because they found that the problem wasn't with the airlines. The problem with who manufactured the planes. So you got people and robots putting these fucking planes together. Well, it's some dickhead's job to literally go to one spot on the plane, 4 bolts. You got to tighten 4 big bolts to keep this one thing in place. It's a plug where you could put a door there, but in this particular plane, they put a plug because they don't need a door. So all you got to do is bolt it on, and it doesn't move for the life of the plane. Some dumb motherfucker hand tightened it and said, "Yeah, after lunch, I'll tighten these down." And then he called in sick for the next 5 fucking days. These planes are in the air with loose bolts, and the goddamn things are flying off like a fucking stock car after a crash. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Really. Oh my God. So that's those big ones made by Boeing, and but I often wonder about, there's so much that can go wrong. It's a miracle that we don't have planes falling out of the sky all the time.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you always have to have one of those moments as you're getting on the plane, just going yeah, I mean, I know this is supposed to be safer than car rides or whatever, but let's hope this fucking thing goes good.
I know. I know it.
I feel like every flight you have to have at least one little second to yourself where you go all right, baby, we might be hitting the ground. We'll see.
Exactly. Holy shit. Okay, so that's interesting. Having a good time there. We can't wait for you to get back. Is Emilio holding down the fort for you? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. It's we try to do vacations, in January, February, and stuff like that when there's not too much going on. So yeah, the guys are back there fucking kicking ass and fucking whatever they're doing. Blue asked me last night. She's like, "How's it going at dumpster drivers?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know, dude. I'm on vacation, dude. I ain't looking." You know what I mean? I'm like, I actually got to unplug.
I haven't done that ever. That's remarkable. I wish I could do that. I think I need to do that at one point. Yeah,
but, do it, dude. I'll shave. I'll just dress up as you when you want to go on vacation. I'll just do your podcast. And I'll just be like, holy shit, a lot. You know what I mean?
That's not a bad idea. Have a fill-in host.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do it, dude. I'll be like, yeah, it's me, Eric Zane. I'll just fucking do whatever,
Dude, you are you're great. Hope you get back soon. When are you actually returning again? Maybe you said that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm coming back tomorrow. Okay. Given that the wheels work.
All right. Okay. Real good. And I'm glad you're able to. Did your kid being on the plane drive anybody nuts?
No, dude, it was wild actually. So again, this is it goes against my nature as a human being who is logical. I'm like, listen, we ain't bringing this kid on a fucking plane until he's 4 or 5. You know what I mean? But he's good. He's like I don't know, some kind of not a perfect child or whatever, but he got on that plane. He was like, I ain't going to make a single fucking noise.
Right.
I'm going to fucking play my little, we got him a Switch for Christmas. So, and somehow, he's immediately, he knows how to work the whole thing and get into the settings and adjust. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this kid.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, dude, he was perfect, dude. Well, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever, dude.
That's the thing, because most of the passengers, they have rabbit ears, and they're just waiting for that little kid to make even a peep. And if they do, they just open the door and throw them out. Everybody.
On Frontier, it's pretty easy to do, too.
Absolutely. Everybody on those planes they hate children. And I'm like, fuck you, I mean, I'm whenever I'm on a plane and I'm next to a person whose child is having a hard time, I always say, look, don't even worry about it, because I always bring earplugs, first of all. And which really dims out that sound completely. And I always say to them, because I always feel bad for the parent, I would say, look, I can't speak for everybody, but your kid crying in my ear for 5 hours, I swear to God, is not going to bother me. And it's true.
Yeah,
because I always want that person next to me, because I know what they're going through. I've been there. I have had that happen to me where my kid is, acting like an asshole in public or on a plane or some shit. And it's a bitch. God damn it.
Yeah, I do feel for I feel for the parents that are that actively try to fix it while it's happening, but the parents that are just sitting there on their phones while their kid goes wild.
Now that's
those
bad.
people. Yeah, they need their heads lacerated.
Fuck yes, absolutely. Yeah, you got to entertain that little fucker. You do what you have to do, even if you have to eat the kid out. You fucking. If you have to give the kid a blowjob, you're gonna have to get that kid to fucking shut up.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking too. I was like, yeah, you might lean over and be like, listen, if your kid's crying, it doesn't bother me at all. Now listen, when I get back to my house, though, I'm going to do a podcast episode, and I'm probably going to call you a cunt.
On this kid eating a vagina.
And the lady's like, okay, I can deal with that.
Yep. All right, appreciate you.
All right, love you guys.
Right,
Juicy.
see ya. There you go. Eating a vagina. Eating a vagina. Corey says, Jesus Christ, no one clipped that.
Hi, my name is Kristen Megan Kelly. I'm the veteran, I believe I've called and left a
2 days in a row
today. I'm the veteran. I'm just trying to get some feedback from whoever would be in charge. I'm the veteran in making the decision to sponsor the Eric Zane podcast. I'm the veteran. I am the mother and the veteran of a child that he spoke about on his podcast. I'm the veteran in a sexual manner. I'm the veteran, including sex acts that he wants my veteran to perform. I've had the sheriff involved. Several sponsors have already backed out. And I'm the veteran. I believe in nonviolent free market solutions. I'm the veteran, so I greatly support free speech. I'm the veteran, but this is not protected speech. I'm the veteran when discussing sexual acts of a veteran. I'm the veteran. It was an attack on me and my family, and
yeah, I'll give you that.
I'm the veteran. It's one thing to have an opinion of adults, but again, it's not protected speech to speak sexually about a 7-year-old girl. I'm the veteran. If you would like to see the evidence, and I have seen on social media someone is messaging people to not talk about it. I'm the veteran, but they want your business to know that your name is slapped behind the screen when he's saying these things. I'm the veteran. You can call me if you'd like. My number is area code 405
405
694
834.
I'm the veteran, but I would really like to know if your business supports this type of rhetoric.
Yes, we do.
405 694 834. I'm the veteran, and I'm the veteran. I would just like to hear that from you.
I'm a veteran, and I'm a veteran.
And your time. I'm the veteran. Thanks.
Eating a vagina. Wow. Chris writes, I greatly support free speech unless I disagree with it. On my crack about how to keep your kids quiet on a plane. Corey writes, usually I'd clip your embarrassing shit, but you're getting a free pass on this one. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? It's not like it matters anyway. You turn to any of my body work, any episode, any given moment, and there's problems. Lots of problems. We wouldn't have it any other way. There must be lots of problems. Problematic things that you say, Eric Zane. Of course, that's what they sign up for. If there aren't problematic things, we don't have a good show. Packer for Fun says, I promise you, if I lived in your area, I'm totally supporting those businesses to spite that bitch. Ryan says, I don't think I'd enjoy this show so much without problems. Yeah, that we could use that as a basis for something to promote the show. The Eric Zane Show podcast. problematic speech, saying problematic things. I got to work that in somehow. All right. Ben sent me audio of something awkward that happened on X's and Bros. I don't want to get into it now, but this is something that we can hide. It's hilarious because now Ben is sending his own awkward shit. What started out as Chris D saying, "Oh my God, here Anthony wanted a breakdown of how fog works," or "Oh my God, Ben talked about the potholes on the road on the show today." Now Ben is sending it in. Ben is giving us suggestions of things that we can listen to.
Had starting to melt where the headlights go. Starting to melt where the headlights go.
And yeah, I don't know.
That's young Ben.
And yeah, I don't know.
That's Ben and Bethany Ben.
And yeah, I don't know.
And this is old Ben.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And yeah, I don't know.
Had starting to melt where the headlights go.
Well, now Ben writes another awkward talk. And then he writes, "I suck." You don't suck. You don't suck. But I am starting to think. Well, it's interesting because when you are presenting clips to me, Ben, for who are these free beers or who are these Zanes, I don't have the vibe of this.
Had starting to melt where the headlights go.
So maybe there's a learning curve. It's a big learning curve, but a learning curve. But when you're with Anthony, that's when the Ben adds, "Oh no, this one is all me." Tyler says you can easily tell that is young Ben because he's using his mating voice. Suggestion from Blue Chaos 24. Edit the Kristen Megan Kelly to say, "Hello, this is Kristen Megan this is Kristen Megan Kelly. I'm a veteran and I support the Eric Zane Show." That's brilliant, and I can do that. And I'm writing that down so that I do that right when I get done with this show. You see, anytime there's another person that's paying attention, you can, if it's just one person, they can give you a suggestion on something that you would never have thought of in a million years. How many times have I said this? The best ideas on this show are by audience members. Also, some of the worst. Chris says there's enough voice samples that you could develop in AI KMK. I know it. That's awesome. That is fun. God. If anybody wants to empower themselves to do AI KMK, let me know. Because I sometimes don't have the time. Ryan says I haven't done anything with AI Zane in a while. Okay. I talked about this on the Patreon. And I'm going to talk about it here. I teamed up with a events company that wants to do live events. They're just getting started, the events company. But they said to me, "Look, we want to do a team trivia night." It would entail you talking about it on your show, getting your audience to go to the VFW, or the American Legion in Walker, Michigan, the Fonger Post. It's a huge room. You on a mic saying, all right, what's the capital of Vermont? And then the teams will write their answers down. And then they, after the round ends, everybody brings up their score sheets. So you got a team of like 5-6 people. You've each paid $15. You get to eat while you're there, as included in the price. You get drink tickets for your $15, and you can buy more booze. I'm up there reading the questions. Your team writes down 10 answers. You bring up your score sheet. We collect them. There's no technology involved. You can't use your phone. If you're caught using your phone, we kill you, throw you out, throw your body in the street. And then we total up the round. All right, first place are the fuck sticks. Second place are the Nazis. Third place, Al-Qaeda. And then we go and we do round 2. And then at the end of all the rounds, we first, second, third place. First place gets $500. Second place, $200. Third place, $100. Last place, we refund your money because you're so shitty. Congratulations. Thanks for coming out, everybody. 90 minutes later, we're out. Problem. We're 28 days from when this is supposed to happen. And I am not confident that all of the things will be in place to make it happen. But I said, look, I'm going to go ahead. I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and promote this event. All right. On my show, because it takes time to promote something like this. So I'm telling you all this so that you can save the date. For Thursday, the 29th of February, at the American Legion Neil Fonger Post on 28th Street. Right? Isn't that where it is? American Legion 179. I'm sorry, Wilson. 2327 Wilson Avenue, Grand Rapids. Technically Walker, or Granville. Fuck, I don't know. I'm giving you 10 different cities. This is it right here. Just save the date. $15. That's what I was told. I know this sounds weird as shit, but I said, okay, if we are going to do this, you have to start promoting it. And you can't do it a week before. You got to promote the shit out of it to get as many people there as possible. Okay, all right. I go, well, I'm just going to start talking about it and get these people ready. So get your teams ready. Get all the people you know and get yourself a team. I'll have more information on pricing and how you buy tickets. I don't even know that. But this would be a Thursday evening. You'll be out of there by 9 o'clock. Megan says, I want in. I have poop knowledge. Of course you do. Get your team together. That would be your mom, your dad, your husband, and you're probably going to need 2 or 3 more. I want it packed. I was told that they're going to promote it on the radio, like buy advertising on a radio station. I go, all right, great. Yeah, I'll do this as best as I can with my show, but I can get a core amount of people that are there. But for God's sake, we got to get this done. So just save this date right on your phone right now in your calendar. Thursday, February 29, EZ Trivia. Thursday, February 29, EZ Trivia. Okay? Young Adam Schwab says advertising on town square media stations. We could, but for this, I think we're looking at an LAV crowd. I think we would want to advertise on LAV and probably the Huge Show. So all I'm suggesting to you right now is get your teams together and save the date. Ryan says, big fraud. What time does it start? I'm mentally deficient. At times or in times. Well, I mean, what time do you think? Do you think it's going to be morning? Or, I don't know, 1 in the afternoon? No, it's going to be in the evening. I don't know, 7? What do you think? 6:30? 7:15. How does that sound? 7-ish. That's like the easiest thing to figure out by context. How could you possibly ask me a question? What time is it at? Tyler says, who wants shy Tyler on their team? Look, you bring your wife. Let her speak on your behalf if you're going to be shy. I can't stand shy people. Now, I don't want each of you to make one team. I want you to go to your friends circle and make your own teams. So I only have a finite number of audience members. Don't all of you band together to make one fucking team. Each one of you needs a team. That would be terrible. All right, welcome to trivia. We got one table. No. Each one of you brings 6 or 7. Linda says Diana can be on my team. Is your skull thick? I just said she's going to do her own team. Is this why that things are a struggle for you in the relationship status? God damn it. Quit trying to recruit, Linda, members of the audience to be on your stupid team. Linda gets her team. Ben Glaze gets his own team. The hell is wrong with you? She says, oops, missed that. Yeah, Diana's not going to be on your team. Diana's got her own team, and they're probably going to win because they're smarter than you. This is when you get pissed off, Linda, and cancel the Patreon and never to be seen again. This is how you do it. She says, I live far away. That doesn't matter. Get your team, show up here, and then that's it. What does Yoda say? There are either do's or do nots. Haves or have nots. Tries and do nots. Tries and do's. I don't know. So every single person here gets their own team. Maureen cannot be on Linda's team. No, separate. Tyler says, do or do not. There is no try. Yes. Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've talked about Irvine's. I still have to talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sponsors. That means if I keep them all to 1 minute, and I never do, it's going to be 10 minutes of ads. But I still want you to stay with this. Sometimes that happens where I'm just no, I just want to keep it going. And, I have a brand new sponsor called Green Medicine Shop. They sell cannabis. So I want you to buy all your cannabis there. I think some of you partake, but I don't know for sure. You know how sometimes that's like a secret? People don't like other people to know that. Well, look, for me, it's going to have to be a secret because, it's going to have to not be a secret because I plan on creating the Eric Zane Show Cannabis Caravan. Now, this is absolutely happening. Like with the trivia thing, I'm still waiting on a few more details to make 100% sure that it's happening. I just want you to save that date. But the EZ Cannabis Caravan is a thing. We are going to meet at a park and ride or a parking lot, and we're going to drive up to the community of Greenville, Michigan. Of course, it's Greenville. It's a green product, and the company is called Green Medicine Shop. We're going to actually get a bus of people, not a bus, a caravan of people, all our cars, and drive all the way up to Greenville. And it's like, easy. Why are you doing that? And here's why. Because since it is an out-of-the-way place, this making it into a field trip with me leading the charge, you'll want to go and get the cannabis because I'm there. You're going to want to see me. You're going to want to take my picture. You're going to want to touch my hair, all this shit. And I know that all of you, in one way or another, are you love cannabis. Everybody keeps it like under wraps. Stevie doesn't. I think Stevie partakes and like lets it be known. I might be wrong on that. But a lot of you smoke and you don't, you keep that under wraps. So I know a lot of you do smoke. So that's why I've created the Eric Zane Show Podcast Cannabis Caravan. We're all going to get in our cars and go up to Greenville, Michigan to Green Medicine Shop. Now, here's the caveat. Greenville, the community, the people who run, like there's a board, kind of like Ottawa County Commission, they're assholes. And they have an ordinance that even though the entire state and most of the country says cannabis recreation, no problem, they won't allow it in their stupid fucking community. The community isn't stupid, but they are. Despite the fact that these folks here at Green Medicine Shop have said, this is what we can get you in money coming in. Maureen says, I prefer edibles to smoking. Oh, they've got the best edibles you'll ever have there at Green Medicine Shop. They said, you want to try one? I go, no, I do not partake. But I'm going to tell everyone who does partake to come to your facility. So in Greenville, they can't do it like recreational. So they have this medical facility. So the only thing different is you cannot purchase their cannabis unless you have a med card. All right. So that's an extra hoop to jump through. Two hoops. A, distance. We got that covered with the EZ Cannabis Caravan. B, you can only get it with a med card. So to get a med card, you go to this website, thegreenmedicineshop.com. I'll link it up right here. Once you get there, sorry about that, little wormhole. Once you get there, you click where it says get a medical card. All right. You're going to get this money back. It's because it says now only $90 for a 2-year medical marijuana card, which includes your state filing fees and immediate access to dispensaries. No hidden fees, no taxes. All done, 15 minutes, 3 easy steps. By the end of the day today, you can have your, whatever it is, your ID number, and then they'll mail you the card. But all you need is the number to buy when you go to Green Medicine Shop. Now, that $90 that I'm asking you to spend, you get it back in a $100 store credit from Green Medicine Shop. Okay? So you pay $90 up front. After you get that, though, you get a $100 store credit for whatever you want in the store. Mention me when you buy from them. If you do happen to make the trip up to Greenville. From where I live in Hudsonville, that's about a 30, 40-minute drive-ish, depending on traffic. But there you go. I'm very thankful that Green Medicine Shop is supporting me on this show. And these folks live there, and they want the business to thrive in Greenville. They're Matt and Shanae. And if they don't get it to go in a pretty quick order, or at least have the ruling overturned so that they can sell just like everybody else does recreationally, they'll have to pull up stakes. So we don't want that to happen. So support Green Medicine Shop. There's only one way to buy their products. That is in the store. You can't buy it online, nothing like that. you must travel to Greenville by leave. So, if you cannot be on the Eric Zane Show Podcast Cannabis Caravan, which has not yet been set, the date, make the trip up to Greenville, get a bite to eat, buy as much cannabis as you possibly can, and then leave. Like I said, yes, you do need a medical card to buy from them. Get the medical card, and you will be given the $100 store credit. Mention EZ. Get a medical card. Off you go. Shop now. Are you 18 plus and hold a valid medical card? Let's say I say yes. I don't, but yes. Deals. By the way, they described to me that the quality of their flower is when you have to have medical grade marijuana, the quality is much better. It's much more strict in terms of less impurities in their product than recreational. Medicinal marijuana, which is what this is, medicine grade, has less stuff that'll make you go, ugh, in it, is the way it was described to me. They have an anniversary celebration on February 15th from 2 to 6 p.m. This is all when you click on Shop Now. Dope deals, January 28th through February 4th. I don't know what any of this means, but it says 30% off 7 strains of flower, including Rainbow Cake, Pave, Ocho, Burro, Purple Rain, Space, Guavas, and GMO. Here's all this stuff Maureen eats, gummies and caramels and brownies. All right. Specials. Look at this is I don't, like I said, I don't partake, but this looks like a morel mushroom, whatever this is. It's called Alaskan Thunderfuck. All right, so go to the website, check it out for yourself, and you can figure out what they do at Green Medicine Shop. TheGreenMedicineShop.com. Sorry for the extended ad, but today's their first day, so I wanted to make sure that I gave them a kickstart as much as possible. They're good people there, and I'm very proud of them. They're very helpful, very professional, and you will love those folks over at Green Medicine Shop. Maureen says gummies, caramels, brownies, oh my. Chris says, I wish I loved weed. What a time to be alive. All right. Linda says to Maureen, your nephew is in the room, Maureen, but he didn't hear it. Maureen says, he's an adult and I'm an adult. I don't care. My kids know it's fine. She said, yeah, whatever, Linda. Your kid's an adult. You gonna take that, Linda? Let's get a fight going between the sisters. She's mansplaining you. She's sister-splaining you. Holy shit. Whoa, your nephew's in the room. Oh my God. Oh, horrible. You tried gummies? Oh my God, Maureen. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That has to hurt. Linda's so mad, she's gonna cancel her Patreon again and quit. Huh. Totally kidding. Linda says he's enjoying this performance. That's Josh. Josh and I, we are on the same page. He's like, yeah, seriously, Ma. Fucking relax. You know how many women I've gone down on, Mom? All right, that might be a little much. Thank you to Tag Accounting. The Tax Hobbit is ready to do your taxes. TagCPA.net. Troy Ginzer is an absolute legend. He's helped me with my taxes, and he can help you with yours. your tax return this year. Call 616-301-9516. Many Zane Show podcast listeners have taken advantage of this, and you can too. You will get more money back at the end of the year. People want an update from Linda about the Ari Zane date connection. She writes, no update. Do you mean you don't wish to give one, or there's no contact? What do you mean? You're just keeping it closer to the breast vest? What's happening with Dr. Rob? Or Professor Rob or Educator Rob? All right. Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. I got an insurance update yesterday. I was talking with Frank. He reaches out to me. He goes, easy. I go, what is it, Frank? He goes, your life insurance is about to expire. You've outlived the policy again. I go, what does that mean, Frank? He goes, well, 20 years ago, he took it over. I didn't know him 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you had a policy. You bought all this life insurance for yourself in case you die, and your wife is a rider. In case she dies, you get this much money. Uh-huh. Well, you gotta renew it. The policy was a 20-year policy. The policy is now over. It will be over in months. I go, well, this is how insurance works. I go, what was I paying for that insurance? He goes, $38 a month. Now think about that. Super preferred, good health, non-smoker, $500,000 of life insurance for Easy, $200,000 for Pooh Bear. $38 a month. Why would you not do that? Think about that. Reach out to Frank today. Now, you might not be in the same boat as I am. With that policy, I said to him, he goes, do you want to extend the policy? I go, is it $38 a month? He goes, no. Now that you're older, that same policy is going to cost you $640 a month. I go, well, fuck you. I'm not doing that. He goes, I know. We got to start over, get you a new policy, either 10, 15, or 20 years. It's going to cost you a lot less if you start over. I go, why? He goes, well, barring no major health changes, you have to start with an exam. An exam, they get all your hospital records, they get everything, and they determine the cost of the insurance. For your age, if you're super preferred again for all that insurance, you'll be able to get away with about $150 a month. Like, all right, that's not bad. Why don't I just do that as opposed to, I go, why would anybody even do these $650 a month? That seems ridiculous. Well, some people are rolling in dough, and they love the policy, and they don't want to risk. Let's say that their insurance, that their body has changed dramatically, and they don't want, because if they do decide to start over, they won't be insured at all. That's why people would do that. So he gives me that option. I go, all right, well, I'm in great health, so let me just start over. Okay, great. That's how that works. My point is the $38 a month. Some of you who are young with a family, for fuck's sake, get your life insurance, dick. Because what if somebody greases you at the train tracks? Come on. Call Frank. Quit dicking around. Buyinsurancehere.com. That's where you go. Basketball next Wednesday. Grand Rapids Gold in action. Go to grandrapidsgold.com. Thursdays and Fridays, $2 beers, $2 dogs. Tickets as cheap as $14 a pop. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Getting you your mortgage. Don't forget about them. The time is almost perfectly right for you to get your mortgage. 231-332-6505. Call and mention EZ. I have a vouch store. Vouch.store/Eric Zane. What is the vouch store, EZ? I've teamed up with businesses, small businesses, to sell their products. I talk about the vouch store and their products. You go there, and if it's something you're looking for, you buy it. on my Vouch store. I've got Camp Craft cocktails, which you pour your booze into the mason jars full of fantastically dried fruit. And whatever booze you pour into the jar gets infused with the fruit. Each jar makes 16 drinks. All right. You can buy them by 3 size, 3 in a package, or 1. Different booze go into. You got like the gin bundle and the rum bundle, sangria, the old fashioned. You can buy the coffee, either whole bean or ground. You can get the toothbrush. I know some of you have purchased the toothbrush. It's getting pretty good reviews. Will you please buy these products and then let me know what they do for you? This one is a higher end item called the Nimble Accelerate. It's a massage gun. So if you have sore muscles from exercise or whatever, this will speed your recovery. These percussion massage guns are outstanding. You may have seen them at a store like Strider's or Brookstone or something like that. They're really something else. $369 though. I understand it's pricey, but if you're thinking about buying one of these, buy it from here and you'll save money. And you're helping out my businesses and me. There's even a small version of it called the Nimble Express for $199. That's all at my Vouch store. Finally, Impact Power Sports. Impact Power Sports, mi.com is their website. Go check out the large selection of Yamaha golf carts, Michigan's newest Yamaha golf cart dealer, and all the other fun things you can explore at their website and their store in Rockford, Michigan at impactpowersports.mi.com. World's number one Lions fan, Joe Martinez, is here. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Reach out to Joe when you have any furnace issues. He will make an after-hour service call, but as I like to say, he will bend you over the pinata to do that. I think it's $125 just to get him out of bed. 616-516-8579. Call today. Thank you for your patience on all those sponsors. I hope it was entertaining enough for you because I try to make it, laughy or something like that. At least that's what that's how I sleep at night. But seriously, those sponsors make this podcast go. We would be lost without them. So please support the sponsors. Aram says to Linda, we on the podcast made this introduction, Linda. We are part of this relationship. Linda says there is no relationship, Aram. Aram says that is disappointing. Linda says, sorry to disappoint. Well, that doesn't mean that, just because there's no relationship. Are you saying that there's not even any dialogue? Hey, how are you? Did you have a nice day? That's a relationship. There's not even that? You're not even trading emails? Anything like that? Joe Martinez writes, I'm going to have you do the voiceover on my next commercial. You mean like your television one? That would be awesome. I would love that. The way that works, Joe, you write the script or have the TV station write the script, get it to me, and I will get them the audio and they can put it in the ad. Just say I have a voice guy. Megan says, Linda, you'll be so happy to know that I'm full into Real Housewives of SLC. I don't know what that is. Aram said that the professor was going to call us. Linda indicates maybe. All right, that's all we're looking for is a maybe. All right. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Those shows are like train wrecks, aren't they? You just can't look away. All right, folks. That is a Thursday edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast. I think it's time to award the asshole of the day. If you have any suggestions. I barely remember what we talked about today. Let's see. I had a number of things I was going to get to, and I just didn't get to them. I had all these things laid out and planned, and nothing came to fruition. That means the Patreon is already planned. I honestly, if someone held a gun to my head, EZ, how did the show go today? I talked about how the dog nearly ruined the show. I talked about at Bosco's, how Doug is a pain in my asshole. The ladies that I met yesterday who were giving me hard eyes. I'm stumped. It's all like a whirlwind to me. And it doesn't seem like nearly 2 hours of care. We talked to Kyle. Okay, I remember that. And we talked to Trump. Okay. We talked about Taylor Swift with Trump. Megan has asked 100 times, where is trivia? You know, I love you, but sometimes you have to listen. There is a time where we actually have to put on our listening hat and actually focus. It was said dozens of times that it's going to be at the American Legion on Wilson, right across from Johnson Park. Specific, we even put up the website and said, all right, here's the exact address, and had a whole conversation about it. And then, you're like, going crazy half the damn time. My God. And she's like, in all caps, I have a job. So now she's yelling at me. I have a job. Oh, that's right. No one here is working. No one has a job. Hey, guys, Megan's the only one with a job. I told you, the Fonger American Legion. That's where the trivia will be. My God. Now that I yelled at you, are you going to cancel your Patreon and leave and never come back? Please don't do that. Only a child would do that. All right. It's got to be Trump. Blaming Taylor Swift for such terrible things? Come on now. Look, Taylor Swift's awesome. She's a horrible creator of music. I mean, it sucks, but she's great. It's not Taylor Swift's fault that Americans are stupid about musical taste. So the asshole of the day is Trump. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you on the Patreon. Remember, the potential trivia, save the date, February 29th, Thursday. It's at the American Legion on Wilson, near Johnson Park. Smoke signals going up as to where it is. Skywriting. Billboards. Thank you, folks. Till next time, bye-bye.